Hello you testicular harpies, Jim Sterling here, and this is Overwatch. It's out of beta, of course. It launched on the Monday. This is Tuesday morning as I record this, and I've been putting in quite some time with it, and I love it. I love it. I'm playing as Mercy here. Mercy's pretty much the one I'm most comfortable with, I guess, because, as I've said many times, I'm a big fan of support characters, healers especially, and she heals a lot. That's her thing. You know, that is basically what she does, and that's good for me. That makes my job easy. Now, this was possibly the very first match I did. Yes, this is the first match I did, like, the moment I got into the game. Unfortunately, wasn't, like, I had the game all day, and it went live at 6 PM, but I was stuck in AT&T dealing with phone bullshit for several hours last night. All the while knowing Overwatch was at home waiting for me, so I got home and had my din-dins and got straight on it and started this match with me playing, as you can see, Mercy, which is a character I like. And that's it. This is recorded on PS4, and you're going to have to live with that. I want to play it on PS4. Sorry about that. You know, if you want to see it on PC, then watch probably every other YouTube channel in existence. You know, I could try and say this is a selling point. Oh, we're showing the PS4 version, but I just chose to play it on console. Plus, you know, there's a significantly lower chance of me getting wrecked on PC, where all the presumably good players are. So that's good for me as well. Yeah. So, I guess first impressions of the game. That's what we're all here for. This is all pre-recorded footage, of course, as opposed to the stuff I do, quote-unquote, live. And we'll have a review coming to thejimquisition.com in the near future. Within the week, I would wager. The game being what it is, it's not like there's some, you know, hours-long campaign you've got to go through. One has to play. You still put in significant time to get used to the minutiae of the experience and you know, get to grips with the balance and how characters feel and work together, and if there are any major discrepancies. But so far, very taken with it, to the point of already would be a Jimquisition Award contender. If not for the fact that it's also a free-to-play game. It's in a similar situation to what happened with Garden Warfare 2, where it's like, this is unquestionably, in my opinion, of course, unquestionably fucking great, like tons of fun. And another multiplayer game, like I said when we covered the beta, just another multiplayer game in a year that's given me so many like really good multiplayer games to play, but unfortunately, again, like Garden Warfare 2, the microtransactions just disqualify it. Like I can't countenance giving any sort of Game of the Year award to a game that charges $60 up front and then nickels and dimes you for stuff. And you know, you can have those arguments over you know, how quote-unquote optional that shit is, but it's a hard rule of mine, you know. No awards for free-to-play games. I find the practice that unfortunate. But otherwise, I mean, the base game is, you know, it's good and worth the cash. You know, I bought my copy, and I don't regret it so far. I liked the beta that much. I even stumped for the I forget what they actually call it, but the special edition, basically, with the statue and everything. I've become quite taken with collector's edition statues. I got the Dark Souls 3 one. I eventually picked that one up sometime after launch, and sometime after launch, even though I already had the game, I got the Doom one, because that Revenant statue is just, it's really nice. So I've got that on my mantelpiece now. Much to the chagrin of my other half, who I'm sure is getting sick of. That's where all the collector's edition statues have gone now, on the mantelpiece in the main room. There you go, what can you do? So, back to the gameplay, I guess. I'm just healing up the soldier there. That's a weird choice for a statue in a collector's edition. going for, what's his name, is like Soldier 76, is that the, I forget the numerical value they attach to him, but visually I would say one of the dullest, or at least most standard looking characters. You know, with as much as they've been pushing Tracer and Winston, like, you'd think maybe they'd make better things to have statues of, or really any of them are more visually interesting to me. You know, even something as, you know, that plays to stereotypes like McCree, or something that's a bit sort of generic 90s like Reaper, you know. I said you know a lot there. I apologise for that. This was me getting a bit too tasty with the gun. Sometimes I do that. I could have healed that person. I fucked that up. That was on me. Sorry to the person who died there. Sometimes I get carried away with the gun and forget what my job is, which isn't great for a healer. That you're supposed to be on top of that. I'm supposed to be on top of that.
Heroes never die.
So, but you know how it is. You get caught in the heat of the battle, and you really want to get a kill, even though that's not your job. It's something I've been learning playing Battleborn, and now this. Those, you know, hero-based games. So it's hard to call them MOBAs now when they're, you know, something like this clearly isn't, but hero-based gameplay. Having gotten into online multiplayer, thanks to Call of Duty 4, you know, I was one of those COD people. It is hard to get to grips with a game that has so many rewards for things other than killing. Because so many games, even many console shooters that have classes in them, you know, like Killzone or something like that, that has medic classes, support classes and that, your biggest reward is still based in killing. That's the currency of the online experience. It's how many people can you kill. And I've been trained on that so much, it's hard to get over what is, I guess, a sense of insecurity, even if you're not killing things, if your KD ratio is out of whack, because you were too busy getting objectives and, you know, doing things like this, healing or shielding people, blocking damage and stuff. I struggle with tanks especially, because I guess I'm just too aggressive with that, trying to get them kills. So it's something one has to train their brain out of, I suppose. I guess that's why I was never good at MOBAs on those few occasions I tried. Very few occasions I tried, because I turned them off and went away crying to mum because they were mean to me. All the boys at MOBA School were mean to me. Yeah, so we won this one. What a surprise! Bastion got the play of the game. That's always a fun surprise. It's so rare it happens. Yeah, Bastion. It's funny. The old turret robot. Given Bastion one go so far, it is fun. Bastion is fun. The turret is ridiculously powerful. There are ways to obviously counter it, you know, but if you don't see it coming, then you are fucked. But there you go. So that was first match. First match of it, thanks. Got myself a loot box, which you can buy for low prices. Now this is Symmetra. This was, again, my first time playing as Symmetra, and I fell in love over the course of this match. Absolutely fell in love with the character. Here I am just learning how she plays. So you can give shields to allies, you can drop down little turrets. One of those two things I think I forgot to do for a lot of this match. That's one of the things with this game, is just sometimes, at least with me, I have a problem remembering, like, oh shit, yeah, I've got this trick as well. I tend to become one-trick ponies with them sometimes, and just sort of focus on one of their skills, forgetting they've got the other. It may have been the shield I was forgetting to drop on people. I kind of remember halfway through, and I'm like, oh shit, zap, zap, zap. But yeah, really liked her as a character. Oh yeah, this was me just... How do turret? Oh, it's blue. Oh, no. Oh, yes, put it on the floor. Good boy. I didn't know it at the time. I have since learned, after getting my ass kicked by another Symmetra player, I have since learned the best way to use those turrets is to just drop them all and let them all focus their beams on people. I wasn't thinking that way. because there is another character in the game who has a turret, like a single turret that does the job that you'd expect a turret to do. Whereas this one is more, you know, plop 3 of the fucking things down in a corner of a room somewhere where they're not seen, and, you know, get someone ambushed that way with them. It's a different way of doing it. But I didn't know at the time. I saw turret and just thought, ooh, I'll put one down there, and then I'll hide one really far away. So it didn't kind of work out for me. But, you know, you learn while you play. You learn while you play. So yeah, that's the other thing that Symmetra can do. That's her ultimate. She can drop down a teleporter, which is always useful. Like useless turret work there. Like I said, I didn't know. Cut me some fucking slack. I said I don't even know whether or not you have cut me slack yet, because this video isn't uploaded yet, so I don't know how much shit you're gonna give me in the old comments there. That was cool. I thought that was a nice little kill there. I thought so anyway. So yeah, really, really, really like this character. I've only played her once, because this morning is where I've been playing it the most this morning, and I was mostly just trying to get a nice little mix of characters for the video. You know, I let my recorder running, the PS4 recorder, the new capture box that I got, which I'm really liking. I don't think it can capture at 60, which is a shame. But then again, like that's not an immediate problem for consoles, not right now. But what I like about it is, and I'll have to remember the name of it so I can actually give it a shout out, because I really do like it. A lot of capture boxes like the Elgato and whatnot, you hook them up to a laptop and everything, so you've got all these wires, all these connections going, whereas this, it's, you know, it's the box, it goes between the PS4 and the TV, you know, you run your HDMI through it and pop in a USB drive or an SD card, it does both. And then it puts the footage directly on it, which just, you know, cuts out an inconvenient middleman for me. That was me saying hello to another player. People like playing around with the little emotes and voice things. Yeah, it's definitely the shield, I forgot. I should have been popping shields on everyone. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologise to all of these people. Again, like, best bet here would have been to throw those turrets like on the walls and shit. I didn't even know that. I didn't even think like about putting them on the walls. But this was a fun moment. This whole bit here. I like her weapon as well. It kind of has a homing thing on it. It's not strong. It's not a strong weapon, but it does consistent damage, which it works for me. I like a bit of consistency in my life. Roadhog, I've been playing as him a couple of times since I got the game proper, the full game. Not having anywhere near the luck I had with him in the beta. Like, I thought, oh, I'm really good with Roadhog. I thought I was alright with Roadhog. And been blowing chunks with him now. So, it's a shame. I love the character design. I said last time, like, I'm a big fan of a character I can cosplay as. And I can cosplay as Roadhog. Plus, he's got that cool gas mask and shit. But, there you go. Guess I'll just have to cosplay as Tracer instead. Who I think I'm in romantic love. I think I've fallen in romantic love with Tracer, and I want to give her a promise ring and take her to the dance. I think I'm going through some emotional turmoil with that whole thing at the moment. It's a very, you know, something I've got to get to grips with as a human adult person. But that's something we'll learn to live with. Because you think I'm joking about dressing up like Tracer, but if you've watched the Gymquisition, you know my fondness for various costume bits, and I may have bought some goggles, but we'll see. I'm hoping to get it this week, because I'm actually planning, fingers crossed, unless some real bullshit happens in the industry, planning to do yet another positive Gymquisition. This time talking about Overwatch, because I've had something to say about Overwatch, and to a lesser degree Battleborn, for a few weeks now. But there's a couple of subjects I wanted to get out of the way. I hate that character. Not tried him yet. He's probably awesome, but I think no one's killed me more than this dude. what's his name? Genji? If I've mispronounced that, I apologise. Like, look at that fucking dragon bastard. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I've got a topic I want to talk about with Overwatch that I'm kind of excited to talk about. And yeah, it's nice to do positive Jimquisitions. I like doing positive episodes. I wanted to always do more. At the beginning of last year, not even this year, I was like, I'm going to make a concerted effort to do more positive episodes. It's not just, you know, shouting and screaming and hollering all the time. But, well, we all saw how that worked out. So, I'm excited that I've got a lot of good things to say. And there's a lot of good stuff going on. Here I'm remembering to use shields now. There we go. You know, it's been a really good year game-wise. So many good things have come out, like better than last year, for sure, as far as I'm concerned. And there were some really great games last year, of course. We had, you know, games like The Witcher 3 and Downwell. Lots of cool little interesting weird games as well as big ones. But this year, like, I think certainly the quote-unquote AAA side of the industry has kind of finally pulled its thumb out of its arse and gotten us something good, gotten us something decent. You should put a shield on them, Jimmy, you fucking knuckle cock. This is what I meant by that. I'm getting angry at myself. See, now I know this is how it feels for you viewers when you watch me play games and be bad at them. I'm kind of feeling it now. It's like, you know, again, first time playing, wasn't thinking. I've got all the excuses, but it don't make it easier to watch. Even though I felt like I did alright. I thought I did alright, and then looking at it, I'm like, well, I kind of fucked up a fair few times. But what can you do? What's done is done, and we lost. Maybe we'd have won if I'd have thrown a few more shields around. Maybe I'll take that burden on myself. I did get play of the game, that was fun. But I tend to find that if I'm getting play of the game, that's not a sign I did well, that's a sign everybody else did shit. So, you know, maybe it's just me taking responsibility for my failings, you know. Unlike a certain former head of Silicon Knights. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? I think up next is, Junkrat, another one I really like. I like him because you really don't have to think too much. And you know me, ain't much for thinking. He's good for just, like, you know, he's a fucking grenade launcher. That's his main thing. He throws fucking explosives around. And it's fun to just sort of wildly pop them into throngs of people and see what happens. Feels like playing a slot machine. I'm a big fan of gambling. And not big gambling. I'm a big fan of putting $10 in a slot machine and sitting at the bar doing that while I get free drinks at the bow. That was a fun weekend. And it's kind of like this. It's like pulling the arm or pressing the button for the play and seeing if you score any kills, which I like. Anyway, Junkrat I enjoy. His accent, I think he's supposed to be Australian. I don't know if they got an Australian voice actor. A lot of the accents sound suspect, you know. I'm talking about a certain, alright love, the cavalry's here. I'll try throughout you too, love. The cavalry's here. You know, it's a little, I'd have played Tracer. I can do a bad British accent. Then you just, hello? Can I be in your game? I'll be a character. You doing any DLC for Overwatch? Want any more British characters? I'll play Tracer's brother, Stanley. Hello, I'm Stanley. Stanley Tracer. How to do me old mucker? Sure as eggs is eggs. I'm going to stop doing that. That's annoying me. And I'm less annoyed by myself than everybody around me is. So if I'm annoyed, you've probably stopped. Actually, you probably stopped watching. So I might as well keep doing it. I'm not going to keep doing it. That would be atrocious. Man, packed day though. Busy day. I don't want to compare myself to Ross Noble, because Ross Noble's actually funny. But I feel like an unfunny Ross Noble sometimes when I do these. Just the inability to stick to a train of thought and the need to keep going back to what you were talking about because you got distracted and are on a totally different tangent. That was cool. Totally different tangent. Except, of course, Ross Noble does that for comic effect. I was premature with that. So the problem with throwing the mines out, the remote control mines, is I get very impatient and shoot my load too early. Anyway, so back to the Ross Noble thing. He does it because it's funny, and he's funny when he does it. I do it because I'm shit at presenting. So, what can you do? I said, what can you do again? That's another thing I keep repeating on this video. I apologise. So anyway, back to the other topic where I was mentioning a busy day. Let's call back to that bit now. If there's anything I have forgotten, if I started a train of thought on this video and I've forgotten it, do feel free to let me know, and I will not ever follow that up, probably, because if you leave a comment on this, it's not like I'll just go into the video and edit it in. Whoever was playing that guy with the bow and arrow, whose name I don't know, because I haven't played that character yet, because he just looked a bit normal. I gravitate towards the less normal, like the weirder / stupider a character looks. I tend to pay more attention to them. A lot of the more standard, regular person-looking ones I haven't tried. Plus, he's sort of got a bow and arrow, and I'd be shit at that. But anyway, whoever was playing as them in this game was pretty good, I think. What was I saying? Oh yeah, busy day. Back to the busy day bit. That's a bad death. Yeah, so not only have I got to play this, I've got to edit the spin-off Doctors. That'll go up on thejumposition.com today, where we're talking about, me and Conrad Zimmerman are talking about Double Dragon. It's a very funny episode, I think. It's a really good episode. And then fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan turned up. As I say turned up, I just bought it, but I mean it turned up in the world. Sight unseen, fucking talk about lack of promotion. I think I saw a lot of people on Twitter this morning just holy shit, that's out. It's the Platinum Games developed one. Because it's best to save Junkrat's tyre attack here for multiple people grouped up, but I kind of saw that guy running, and he did kill me earlier, so I let kind of revenge and a quick one kill overtake my common sense there. It would have been best to have saved it, but there you go. Again, I was about to say, what can you do again? Shot in the back, I think by the McCree player. Oh, well. Haven't tried McCree yet. I'm interested to give him a go. But one thing I love about this game is normally, like you take Battleborn for instance, which I think is a great game. I think Battleborn's a great game, but so few of the characters I care to play as. In a lot of these games, a lot of class-based games, a lot of character-based games, I tend to find the one I like, I stick with them. Whereas here, I have Mercy as a nominal main, you know. She is ostensibly the one I play as the most, but I'm constantly switching and trying new ones and finding all of them viable for me. You know, I don't have, I'm not very multi-talented with games like this. You know, I find my speed and I stay there. Whereas this, it's like, you know, I'll give Bastion a go, I'll give Junkrat a go, I'll give Zarya a go, and I find them all viable. I'm like, I can truck with most of these. There are some I can't. Him there, is it Zayn? Oh, I can't remember the name, I'm sorry. But a lot of the tanky ones, I just, as I think I said earlier, I just can't really get with. I can't get my head around them. D.Va as well is one that I'm not that great with, but most of them, like Tracer, I have a lot of fun with, and Soldier 76 is fairly standard but decent. Love pretty much all of the support characters. You know, it's not that I just found the healer and that was fucking pants. I was trying to hit reverse while falling. Apparently it doesn't work. But anyway, it's to this game's immense credit that I can easily go from something like Tracer, you know, a rather aggressive, fast-moving attacker, to, you know, Roadhog or Junkrat or the healers and supporters and things. And another terrible, shitty death edge. While I'm talking about, I find all the characters viable and I'm alright with them. And then I'm just talking over getting my anus pelted with stones and lies. Sorry, I found myself very amused by what I just said. But yeah, Tracer's fun. So yeah, I didn't get some full matches here. I just got a bit of some Tracer footage and a bit of whoever's next. Basically, these were matches where I was doing really shit, and then I switched to a character and started doing all right with them, and thought, well, I'll use that footage, and I won't show the footage where I'm being shit, because I already get told I'm shit at games enough, and so I want to show people me doing kills so that they'll be proud of me. That's all I want, viewer. All I want is for you to be proud of me. Oh shit, I've got my pads on my back still. Got these electric pads, electric things. It's not for my knob. It's not for my knob. It is for my back because my back injury is still a thing. You know, it has its on days and its off days. You know, which is better than when at the beginning of the year when it was all off days. But this has been helping, sort of muscle stimulant stuff. I just realised I was doing the whole video with them still on my back, just stuck there, doing nobody any favours. Wrapping that up now. Oh, sorry, hit my pop filter there. Sorry, sometimes I consider just how not great I am at this whole video thing, as I'm sitting here just doing some clearing up in the office with the microphone running. Somehow I get away with it. I don't know how. Somehow people find it, I guess, sort of charming. That was pretty good. Got me 3 kills in a row there. Plus, it's always fun to deny the... I was going after them and they were invincible at the time. That was silly of me. But it is always nice to deny Bastion a turret run. See them transform and then just, oh, zappa, zappa, zappa. And get them all going. With Tracer, my biggest hang-up is just I don't use the backwards, the reversal effectively enough. That's my hang-up there. Is no, it's just Tracer. The next one is a full match. Tracer was the only match that I didn't have a full match of because I was doing shit at the beginning. Yeah. What was I saying before now? Quickly, tell me. Oh, I don't know. I'll remember it and get back to it maybe. Oh yeah, Tracer. Yeah, I don't use her reversal thing effectively enough, where you can reverse damage. So, something to learn. I think this is stuff that will be ironed out when I actually sort of pick characters to really give a go at trying and sticking with. But this brings me back to what I love about this game, and it's going to sound weird, is it reminds me of when I was first playing Dynasty Warriors for the very first time. With all of these characters, really varied in design, really weird, eccentric looking characters. Eclectic would be a better word, this eclectic mix of characters. And just feeling like a kid in a candy store, you know, getting to grips with them and eventually settling on one and really, really learning the ins and outs of them before moving on to another one to learn the ins and outs of. You know, and then that's part of what I'm really liking about this. It's just this sense of wanting to play as and get good with everything. And eventually sort of whittling it down to the ones that one that I want to just concentrate on for a bit. So yeah, it's cool. Cool. Really is a good game. Like, it really genuinely is rock solid fun stuff. But I mean, it is Blizzard as well, and they tend to do well. I mean, Blizzard's frustrating for me because they do games, clearly very, very good games, that are just totally not my wheelhouse. you know, I'm not an MMO fan generally. So World of Warcraft never really did anything for me. Sorry, I did a little bit of a hiccup while I talked there. Not a strategy person, as I'm sure. Even if you didn't know from looking at my work, you could have probably told from my inability to showcase any foresight or tactical depth while playing a game. So, you know, the StarCraft and all that shit never really spoke to me. And, you know, I like Diablo well enough. I really like Diablo and everything, but still was a little... I don't know, just never really stuck with them. I guess they just didn't mean as much to me as they did to a lot of other people, as much as I really like them. So, I'm glad this came out and that I'm really enjoying it, because it's nice to have a Blizzard game that I'm kind of getting this into. That was a good kill. That was good. That was a good Junkrat play. Can't deny it. So with this character, again, whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce, because I'll just sound stupid. It's the ultimate that I need to learn to use effectively. Not using it effectively enough. It renders you impervious for a bit, if I recall correctly. Maybe I've even got that wrong. I was afraid to look it up because I knew I was recording and I knew I'd probably end up using this. And I didn't want to look stupid by looking it up. I get weird hang-ups about things. I realise there's no reason to be self-conscious about doing that. But, you know, that's the problem with someone who has a level of self-consciousness on the pathological, you know. So, there you go. But anyway... That's my main thing with a lot of the characters as I play them is learning, like, which skill am I fucking up? Which skill am I not doing correctly or at all in the case of certain shields that weren't placed at certain points earlier in this certain video. That was a fun little duel there. It's always fun when you're in a big multiplayer shooter and eventually just you and one other player end up dancing together. I've got This Is How You Remind Me stuck in my head. I really don't like that that's happened. I really don't like that that's happened. Now I've got to live with it. That'll be all day. That'll be all day Chad Kroger in my fucking head. Didn't help that this weekend we were planning KrogerCon. I just had this great idea for KrogerCon, which I'm probably going to turn into a Fist Shark marketing bit. For those of you who listen to the Fist Shark Marketing podcast, which is an improv comedy podcast I do. If you really stretch the definition of the word comedy, it's definitely improv, I can tell you that much. But comedy is lacking. I don't know why when I was watching that footage got very stuttery there, but it wasn't. It clearly wasn't. It wasn't stuttery when I was playing it. I don't know if maybe that's the recording. Maybe the recording's a bit fucked, or maybe it's just the preview window I'm looking at this in, which sometimes lags a bit, just a little bit. Yeah, I should have been dropping a heal on Diva there next to me, but I didn't. It's another thing with games when you watch them as opposed to play them. Like, it's all hindsight being 20/20 and all that. Like, detached, I can see where I fucked up, where I've not been healing someone who's right next to me. But when you're in the thick of it and playing and concentrating on one particular task, you don't spot what you should be spotting. Wasn't great there. Terrible aim there on my part. That I felt really embarrassed by. Like, I saw the tire coming, and I pressed triangle to hit my ultimate to try and protect against it, like, at the exact moment the fucking thing exploded. I mean, since I've still got it here on the footage, I guess I did it just a split second too late. But I was like, I'd already exploded and my thumb was still just furiously tapping triangle. To Zero avail. The amount of avail there, nah, none of it, mate. None of it. So, live and learn. Be a bit less stingy with that ultimate. I mean, it's not doing anyone any good right now. But of course you can't do anything else when you've got it on. So, again, if that's right. If I haven't totally forgotten, misunderstood what it does. Does it heal people around you? This is bad. I've plumb forgot. In the middle of the video. I'm an idiot. Oh well, who cares? It's just video games. Let's not take it seriously. It's just video games. This character is fun. You have to practice with him a little bit. There's, you know, clearly a little more to him than using someone like Mercy, who is just so much more singularly focused. Whereas here you're whacking debuffs on enemies, and your main attack is pretty legit. So it's silly not to use it. You know, whereas Mercy, you've got to swap out your main gun to use your dinky little fucking water pistol that deals damage. It's really reinforced that Mercy is not for offense, and really her any ability she has to deal damage is more for last ditch protection, I guess. Whereas this guy is a little more going on there. But you know, doing all right, holding my own. That's the important thing. I said this. I always say this. I don't care if I'm first, if I'm the best on the team. I just don't want to be the worst. If I can get away with not being the pits, then I'm happy. So anyway, this is going to wrap up now. I've been sat here talking basically to no one for 37 minutes, which is impressive till you remember it's me, and I, you know, even if there wasn't a recorder going on, I'd probably still just be talking to myself like some sort of fucking idiot. Oh well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Hope you liked it. Hope it didn't upset you too much. I'm here for your amusement and entertainment at the end of the day. And I'm just running out the clock because 37 minutes is apparently all I've got in me. Once that's done, I've got nothing. So, just waiting for it to say victory. There we are, it's done. I'm off. Bye. I got out of that one.
Alright. Come clean. Are you the real Jim Sterling?
Get the fuck out of here, Reaper. You fuck ass.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think the real Jim would actually be that egotistic to put his own name on it.